What's up traders, this is Marco. It's Friday, we have the 5th of May. I have another bar by bar for you today. And here you can see the 2000 tick ES chart, the ES future. And I'm coming to the BC always around 7 in the morning. And you can see here on the top left corner, there are 3 important news events for today. So we're staying out any trades around 7:30. And we go from here and see how the day is progressing. So we had a couple of pushes above the EMA. I also drew this shorter term channel here and with a break, a new high. So this channel here could be played out already. Then we had the news at 7:30, a couple of pushes lower, a couple of pushes higher. And right now we're bouncing off the EMA and going higher here. So what I can see here is that there is a channel working higher, and I'm taking the channel from the low and connecting it to the last swings. We have a couple of confirmations to the support side and also a few confirmations here on the top side, and I'm playing with this channel. So our bias is bullish. We're looking for longs right now. But what I can say already is that we wait for a pullback to the EMA or to the key entry point, because going long in the middle of nowhere, there's a high chance that prices turn and stop you out directly. So what we are doing here, we're pushing higher above the EMA, and maybe I can draw this shorter term channel. It's always good to draw these because then you get an idea of what prices are doing. We get a break of this channel and now a pullback back to the EMA. And this is interesting because right now we have a second entry long here. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see it better. Prices made a new high, first entry, second entry, and this is also only a 5 tick candle. So this setup is really worth taking considering the risk. You can't do anything wrong here. I'm going mostly for 6 ticks. So when you enter here and the bar is the entry bar is 5 ticks, then you have a good risk reward ratio. And I'm not sure what happened here, if prices went lower first and then get us into the order, or if we got into the order here and it stopped us out. Just in case that I got a stop here, I would re-enter on this bar here directly, because yeah, with this signal bar here, the second entry is even stronger. So really it depends how prices formed this candle here. I didn't check it live at this point, so I cannot tell, but yeah, I really like the second entry here, and depending how it formed, the entry was either on this smaller bar here, 5 ticks, or if we got stopped out on this bar, then for sure after this bar here. So prices are pushing higher. You would be out of the trade already, most probably no runner here, and prices are pushing higher. You can see how the EMA is providing some very nice support, and really we're pushing higher. The midline of this bigger channel here is being tested and respected right now, and we are trending along the midline and really pushing strongly higher. No setup here. I wish I could take something like this or this here, but flying so above the EMA and yeah, just a couple of confirmations of this midline. I'm not risking taking a long here. If this happens at the later point, then you can risk such trades, but at this early state, I don't think that it's a good idea. Or you get a very low risk bar like here. We're testing the resistance of this channel, and I'm extending the channel. And what I wanted to mention, you can also see here there is some support. That was the second entry just now. So if you saw this, then you see that prices cannot break through the support level, and was taking this as a strong support in addition to the EMA. So yeah, prices are trending above. We are testing the channel resistance. Nothing interesting here, but right now I can see another support is forming right here, because prices made this test here, another test here, and a third test at this level, but we are above the EMA, so I would like to wait for another test of the EMA. If we get one, many times in strong uptrends you will see that not even a pullback to the EMA is happening. So we are waiting here for now. Prices made a new high, first entry only, and this is a second entry long, a third test of this support level. So if you want to be aggressive, you can risk it here. And I can tell you, I took this trade live because I was very interested in this triple test here. But as I said, this was a risky setup. You can see it here. I got in 3 contracts when it pulled higher here on a limit order, and I got out when it broke above this level. I'm drawing this range for you. So there was technically enough space to get out on a scalp here, but I was also sure that when prices are coming to this level, then all the shorts that entered on this bar and this bar, they have their stops one tick above these highs here. So if we are pushing above this level here, then there will be an explosion to the top side, and it gives additional fuel. And yeah, the plan worked out. I got into this order here, then there was a higher low of this support, so I was confirmed in my thoughts, and I didn't exit the trade, and I just wanted to play it out, and I was yeah, successful here because it pushed higher. So this trade worked out great. It was a second entry long and also a triple test. I'm marking this here so you can check this with your records. Yeah, and I took this trade here, and prices are pushing higher again, drawing the shorter term channels always. Getting a pullback to the EMA, but at this point I cannot enter anything because we're in the middle of this channel. I would like to see prices to come closer to the support area here of this channel. If you consider this short, then I can understand, because you have this shorter term channel working higher, break new high, and you have some kind of resistance here. But since this candle made a new high, and in general we are not counter trending, so it's better to skip this. But I know some of you guys like those setups. I will not mark this here, but if you took it, then I can understand it. Having a shorter term channel working lower here, and you can see there is some resistance forming here because we have 3 tests of this resistance right now, and prices are pushing below the EMA. Maybe we see a test of this support now, and I'm also drawing a shorter term channel because you can see 3 or more candles going into the same direction. And this is a lower high, but I really don't want to short this because the bias in general is up. So I'm not interested in taking any shorts. We are breaking this structure here, making a retest. I would like to see a new low to be 100% sure, but we're pushing above here the EMA and forming this tiny candle. 3 takes. Not enough to take. I was speaking about low risk bars before, so we're waiting here. And this is a higher low. If this bar here finished above the EMA and maybe finished green, then I would consider taking a long here after this strong uptrend. But since it's forming bearish and we have this wick here on top, I cannot risk this trade. but prices are pushing higher strongly again above the EMA, pushing here. We are breaking this resistance level, pushing through and retesting the breakout area, and there is another potential setup here. Prices made a new high, first entry, second entry, but this is the signal bar, and really you cannot take a long based on this signal bar. If this here pushed lower and came up all the way how it formed here, you maybe consider an engulfing setup, but this means also going long right into this resistance. So I just skip this and see, or better say wait for better setups than this. But yeah, there is a second entry long here, but unfortunately it was not forming the way I like second entries. And you can see like this midline of this channel is being tested a couple of times. We're breaking above here, testing this. So bulls are really running this up here. Also I can draw here these shorter term channels, so they help us to be on the right side. We get the break retest of the highs, so nothing to consider here. There is one of those situations that I was speaking of in the beginning of this bar by bar, that when you get a pullback to a key entry point, and a midline of this channel can be a key entry point, it's a minor key entry point, then you can consider taking a long, but for sure this is only a very aggressive setup. And if you want to wait for the short things, then you skip those. And I'm not sure if this would have worked. 4 ticks for sure, 6 I'm not sure. Going sideways here now, so we can draw a range here. Maybe we get a couple of confirmations of the range lows here. That would be nice to consider another long. But yeah, we're going sideways here, breaking out of the range. This is an inside bar, so we cannot take a failed breakout based on this bar. If prices pushed higher and formed a nice bearish bar here, then maybe we can consider. But as I said, I want to stay with the trend. I'm looking for long trades and not shorts. Pushing back here, and we are coming back to this range support here. But this is a very strong push, I must say, like taking this candle and this candle together. We're finding some support at the EMA here though, and some support at the range support, but we are far away of the range support here, and I would like to see a bounce back to the channel line. I said like range support, I meant channel support. So I would like to see a bounce back to this line here first to get a confirmation that this channel here is valid. And we're getting a pullback to the channel. And this also looks like a failed breakout, but there are two very strong pushes lower here. And I'm really not sure if this channel line here is valid. So I would like to wait for a higher low, something like that, and not taking a long here blindly, because also this bearish bar, look the size of this bar. This is 11 tick bar, and it's closing perfectly on its low. So there's a lot of power needed, a lot of strength needed to turn this. So right now I'm not too sure in taking this, and we're pulling back, testing the breakout area and testing this channel here another time, and we get our confirmation that this channel is valid and prices are pushing strongly higher here. So prices got rejected from the channel support, but unfortunately no setup here. Pushing higher, and we are getting another test of the channel. You can consider taking a long here. To be honest, this is close what we took here before, because prices are pushing above the EMA, confirming this channel and testing the EMA one more time, and all the shorts that are going in here, that are playing the range and saying, okay, we're coming here and testing the other side of the range again, but they're missing out that this channel here is working higher, and also that the EMA is providing some decent support whenever prices are approaching the EMA. All these people can get trapped when prices are breaking above this level. So if you want to take an aggressive setup, then you can take a long here. That would be just a higher low, because unfortunately prices made a new low here, so we're resetting the count. If this was the same low, it could be treated as a failure, but this is a higher low. So if you are fine with this and you see this channel working higher and that the EMA is providing some hard support, then you can taking a long here, and prices are pushing strongly higher. Unfortunately, here is only a first entry, so we would like to see a second entry, something like that. But also notice prices are not able to reach this upper third of the channel, or let's say the upper half above this midline here of this upturn channel, and this is showing me that prices are losing steam, that this uptrend maybe starts to weakening, and then I'm always very short. Not short, I'm always very careful in taking any more longs, and maybe consider some shorts, because you can see prices before tested this channel line here and the midline was working great, but now a few pushes lower, the support is still in play, but we are not reaching the midline anymore, and this is a sign of weakness. So I'm not really confident in taking longs here, and I just want to see what prices are doing now approaching this channel support. Getting 3 stacked up candles, this is congestion. We are staying out of congestion. I'm drawing this for you guys. Always draw these, then you're not getting tempted in any trades. And we're getting a strong push higher here. But I must say, rejection looks different to me. Rejection looks like this. From the moment prices are approaching the support channel, prices get rejected, but now we are approaching the support level again, and this is no rejection here. This is congestion, and okay, we're bouncing now off this level, but I would not consider taking a long here. Also, it's so far above the EMA, so you can get into the order and prices will bounce back. The same what is happening here. We're in some sideways movement. We're breaking this uptrend right now. That looks like 2 legs here. First leg pullback, second leg. And let's see how this goes. And there is a lot of bearish power coming into here. They're really selling this. And also I think a lot of bulls that are were entering all these levels here. They're taking profits now because they see the same thing, that we cannot get through this resistance here that is coming up at the last highs. And also taking this a bit lower here, that was tested here, another time here, and we just cannot get through this. So there's a lot of profit taking, and also the bears that are waiting here start selling. So this is why we're getting this very explosive move lower here. We're trending lower and we are finding some support of this old range here, so we have to observe if there is something more behind this. Pushing higher again, and this really starts to look like a range right now, so maybe I'm drawing a bigger range here just to see what's going on here. Prices were trending lower in the shorter term channel, but we didn't make a new low here, so there's another pullback. So entering here on a long trade, if you are very aggressive, you can do that. But look at these bear candles here. They are so strong and they are finishing perfectly on its low. So I really have a problem after these two like big sized bearish candles to take a blindly along here. I would like to see more confirmation, more tests of this support. This is only the second test, so maybe a third test, and then taking along with a clear new low of the shorter term channel. I would feel much better than taking just blindly along here on a second test. Pushing higher, drawing the shorter term channel. But we're going sideways here. There's really no more bullish power and also nothing for the bears, because bears started this push here, and normally we see like a second leg in the same size, but this is not coming here. We're going simply sideways. This shorter term channel broke and retest of the lows at this point. If this candle was not that huge and like, for example, finishing like this candle here, then I would consider along here, because we have this structure here played out with a break new low, and we have a triple test of this support from this range. But since this candle is finishing so up high here, and you can see the rejection at the EMA, we cannot take along here, and this is already live price action. So this was the whole day already. You can see this very strong uptrend working pretty much after the opening forward here. We had a break of this structure, if this can be counted as a break, and we are about to retest the highs. Not sure if you count this as a break, then this uptrend channel was retested already. But if you count this as a more significant break, then we are still about to retest the highs of this uptrend channel here. But prices are moving within this yellow range, and in a healthy range you can see prices are bouncing off the resistance, bouncing off the support, and going back and forth within the range. So yeah, there's no clear bias at this moment, and we just have to wait and sit out what's going on. And if you notice like such strong uptrends like what we have here today, then consider, if you are aggressive, see that most probably any pullback to the EMA worked out here in strong uptrends. We had a pullback here to the EMA, so taking along here would have worked. We had a pullback, not exactly at the EMA, but we formed this support here, and I took this trade and it worked out. Prices pulled back here. If you took along and you notice the strong uptrend, it would have worked out. Then we're pushing lower. No candle here, no bullish candle that indicates that prices will go higher here, so there's no long here. But then we're pushing above the EMA, and there is another pullback. As I said, if this candle here closed bullish, then it's worth taking it. Another push higher, pull back to the EMA. There was a second annual long here, but if you notice this candle, you could enter here on its high. This is a super high risk, but it confirms the theory that pullbacks to hard EMA are working in strong uptrends. Then we are going higher here. We are breaking through the EMA with two legs here, and then we are starting another push higher here. This higher low we were speaking about, this worked, but also notice the risk going high, going long into the highs here. And yeah, from there we have this sideways price action here. So I'm giving you the whole picture one more time. I hope you had a nice trading week. This week we had a couple of nice setups, so I hope you had a successful week. And yeah, if you want to learn in more detail how to read this chart, this comes with a lot of experience and a lot of chart time, then check out our course on toppicktrading.com. Check the homepage. There's much more information to this if you need more information. And yeah, I wish you a great weekend and speak to you next week.